Okay, so today we have another teardown video we're going to do. Ruger P95, your bog standard cheap 9mm, was given to me by a friend for building him a rifle for his son, and so we're going to tear this thing apart and get it cleaned up. It's pretty nasty. He takes it to his deer lease and he would use it, just leave it in his truck, and yeah, this thing's pretty gross. So, start by pulling out that slide stop and its pin. There. We're going to toss it over in our little basket. Don't forget to, we've got, you see this little tab here? It's actually got part of the ejector. Get my fat finger out of the way there. This guy, right here. That's got to be pushed forward. Slide come off, just like so. From there, it's your basic stuff, you know, guide rod, recoil spring, barrel comes out. I already ran some bore scrubber down the middle of that stuff there, so with that cleaned, get this out of the way. Obviously, magazine comes apart just like any other magazine. Comes right out. This one you got to push down kind of on one side, just enough to get that end plate to clear. I'll pull that out, throw it in the basket, dump the follower out, slide, pretty simple. Extractor will come out, this little guy here will come out, and then from there you can take this side of the safety off of it, and then you can take this side out after that. Firing pin will come out there. The firing pin block, this little guy right here, to get that out you have to take this sight off, and I don't feel like messing with that because if I lose the zero on the gun or whatever else, this gun actually shoots point of aim, so I'm not going to mess with that. I'm going to leave it in. So an extractor come out like so, just lift up and pop it out, and then that little guy right there, and then this side of the safety will come out. Now there's a little detent spring in there. It's captured, but just keep in mind that could pop out. Throw in a little basket. Come over here, and this you rotate all the way back. And keep in mind that the firing pin is under spring tension, so you might want to put your finger over the back of the slide so it doesn't go launching across the shop. Put that in there. Firing pin spring, and like I said, the firing pin block or stop, I'm not going to mess with taking that out, but if you, let's see, can we see down in there? I don't know if you can see or not, but it just, basically if the trigger's not depressed, it doesn't allow the firing pin to move forward at all. But you can see just how absolutely nasty this thing is, full of all kinds of dirt and nastiness and grime and everything else. I mean, probably the factory grease in it and never been cleaned, or dirt or anything else, from the dirt that he's collected in it. Just knowing the guy, it's never been cleaned. We are going to move on to the frame and get the internals out here. This stuff is all, again, pretty straightforward. Okay, so the easiest way to start all this is to take and push out these two pins right here. They will just push right out. Now I'm a liar. There we go. Pin one, that little spring, when you pull that guy out, is going to want to come popping out of there along with that guy. Put that in there, and then we're going to push the other pin out here. Comes out. That little guy there. With this out of the way, this, when it's back, retains that pin that holds the hammer in. It won't come out when this is back, and you can actually, when you take it apart, you can see the slot that it rides in. But if you pull it forward here, this thing will all but fall out. You have to take the mainspring out first. unlike me trying to do it before that. That just kind of pushes out. That little mainspring housing there, about halfway through, is going to jump, but you should be able to just put thumb pressure on it and then push the pin the rest of the way out as it goes flying across the room. And then that'll come out. Keep in mind that there's a little kind of a keeper in there. That's what actually holds that pin inside the mainspring housing there. So then your mainspring and arm are going to come out, the trigger bar here. Put that in our little basket. And now that pin, like I said, it'll just fall right out and your hammer will come out. Stick that all over there. And from here, you can just take the trigger and just push up and out. And there's a spring right in here. Let me see that little guy. You've got to pull out of a notch. Remember I showed you that hole in the frame? Pop that out of that hole, and all of this stuff just comes right out of there. Hammer will fall off, so we can stick that in our little bin of parts over here. Now, your ejector, this is the actual ejector, so it serves kind of a multi-role purpose here. This thing is just a pin that punches out of here, and then it will come out. But let me warn you that if you decide to take that out, I'm not going to, because it is a pain in the butt to get back in. You go to a line, there's 2 feet down here in this spring. Let's see if you can see that. There's 2 feet that run up and down the side of the frame on the inside here. I don't know if you can see it any better from the bottom or not. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the foot. So, yeah, you know, working in the shop, customers come in or whatever else, so this video might get cut up a little bit, trying to get stuff in there, but yeah, little foot. There's one that's got a longer leg here, and then this one's got a little short leg there, but it is a pain in the butt to get that spring out of there, so I'm going to leave it in. It doesn't block anything. I can get in and scrub behind it. We'll just leave that in. It's in there and tight enough that I don't think the sonic cleaner is going to make it wash out. If you really feel that you need to take your magazine release out, you can. It just kind of like, you got to wiggle it out of there. It's not worth taking out either. It's another one of those things where it stays in pretty easy. It's just got a flat spring inside of there that holds it. Poor lighting. Along the front there's a flat spring that holds it in. And like I said, I mean, they're relatively easy to take out, but it's not really worth doing. It's a bigger pain in the butt to take in and out than it's worth. So yeah, just leave that guy in there. I'm gonna run it through the tank, sonic cleaner. You guys have, if you've watched any of the videos before this, you've seen pretty much how that thing works. So I'm not gonna deal with it in this video. Get it out, get it cleaned up, and we'll put her back together.